This is Diego Cordovez.
Adam Schoenfeld.
Welcome to The Scoop, brought to you by Full Tilt Poker. And we're at the National Heads Up Championship, grabbing people. And our first guest today is someone I'm really excited to talk about because he's got the best name in poker.
I want to meet this guy.
And he's hit the ground faster than anybody in the last couple of years. And his name is Dwyte Pilgrim. He finished second in the Card Player of the Year race. And he won a big WPT event at Borgata. He's won something like 35.
He wins every circuit. He's won every circuit event ever.
I don't know how many, but a lot. And he's really been successful and really built a bankroll from scratch. And I think we're going to hear a lot more about him. And he's someone who's not as famous yet as some of the guys who've been around or been on TV. And I want to know more about this guy.
Excellent.
So we're looking to grab you on a free moment because you really are the hardest working man in poker, I think.
Definitely.
I mean, you've had a lot of success, won a lot of money last year, but you still play a ton of events and not just the big events, right?
Oh yeah, I try to play all the events. I try to go out there when the circuit starts and play the prelims and gear up for the main event.
What was interesting is that in these online, not in the online, in the Player of the Year, the Card Player of the Year, it's structured so that the big tournaments, the WPTs, the World Series events get all the points. Last 2 years, you've made strong runs, and you've done it in these smaller events. You won like every circuit event there is, and these are totally different types of events. Then you won the Borgata, which was like a huge win. That's like a super tough field. How different is that sort of event to the ones that you really made your name in?
That event is much harder. You got a lot of better players, guys that's thinking more at the table, so it's going to be a little harder. But both of them are difficult in their own ways. The smaller events have 800 to 1,000 people in them all the time. Borgata was a big event and they had a lot of people, but most of these big events only have like 300, 500, 400. So it's a different type of difficulty you got to go through. But both of them are difficult. It's hard to go through an extra 5 more minefields than going through a tournament when you have to win 3-4 hands and you got the average for the final table.
How different is your overall strategy and the tactics you use to win like a Borgata event compared to circuit events or smaller preliminary events that you dominated before?
I try to go into the same strategy. I try to be able to adapt to what's going on. But in games like that, people are going to give you their chips in different kinds of ways. In a bigger event, it's going to be a little bit harder. Smaller events, you might get some gift wrapped to you. So you just got to go into the game with an open mind and be able to adapt and switch up to what's called for.
I first started seeing your name in the Card Player of the Year probably 2-3 seasons ago, and you'd be in there every episode. You won a circuit, high in a circuit. Back then, when you were less known, did you find that you could just run over those fields, and now you have to play differently, just in the circuit events alone? What's your secret with the circuit? You're the king of the circuit.
I feel like when I was starting out, nobody really knew I was the unknown, so it's harder to play the unknown. As you play with a lot more guys, the guys start putting up threads, and next thing you know, you got long 6-page threads on the internet of how you play.
Right.
So you got to make adjustments to what the people know. But the thing about a good poker play is always adjusting. Just like with my bankroll, like I was talking about earlier, before I had a 100,000 bankroll going against guys with $1 million bankrolls. If you notice, 2010, I was the only guy in the top 10 for the whole year. From January, February, March, every month I was in the top 10.
We read every issue and I would see your name every time.
So I had to slowly grind and use what I had to get what I need. I turned 300 into like 1.1 last year, and I say 300 to 1.1 because I won my first event on the 7th for 300 for about 30-some thousand. Then I won my second event 2 days later for about another 30. And then on the 9th, I won another event, 1K. I came second to Nick Binger.
Right.
And then after that, we just turned it into 1.1. We was able to get a bigger bankroll, to play more games, to put ourselves in a better position, and try to be successful.
This is real bootstrapping, where you had your bankroll and you just grind and built it up. Not just starting out with a backer and putting it into all the big events. Right?
Exactly. You got to be able to just change up and be able to use your money to get you in the games you need to be more successful.
Did you start with the circuit because you had a smaller bankroll and those events just were more tailored to the bankroll you had? How did you find yourself playing the circuit?
I found myself playing the circuit. I used to be a loan officer, and I used to go back and forth to work and go to AC and play on the side. Before that, I was an online zombie playing about 16 games at a time for about 12 hours a day.
And
So
you had a regular job too.
yeah, I had a regular job before my regular job, and then some things happened where I had to get a regular job. You know that lifestyle in poker. I took a couple hits online, took a couple hits in live game, had to go get a regular job.
You went to work.
So I went to work. But going back and forth to work, I used to try to go on weekends to play on Atlantic City. Then I actually saw a sign, and I was like, first comes the ring, then comes the bracelet. So I started molding my game to get ready for the tournaments. I lived in Atlantic City for about 2 years in 2 different hotels, just staying there for most of the year, just grinding. You know, I used to stay in the Taj Mahal, 2008, 2007, 2008, and roughly the middle of 2008, beginning of 2009, I was in Harris, Atlantic City.
So you wouldn't even go outside. You had to force yourself to get some air once in a while.
Once in a while, I try to be focused to play poker, you know. But then I was going home one time and I saw the billboard first come the ring, then come the bracelet. So then I really started switching my game to tournaments, you know, because when I was staying in the hotels, I was grinding cash, trying to make a living, trying to take care of my overhead. So I took about 10, 15,000. I went to the circuit, and then I cashed 6 out of 10 tournaments and made 2 serious final tables, $2,000 tournament, and then a $5,000 tournament the next day. So Nolan Dollar wrote out a report saying that was unheard of. A guy first coming to the circuit and cashed 6 out of 10 and made 10 final tables. My first 10 games was amazing. Like I said, I cashed 6 out of 10. My second 10 games, I won my second ring. In my third 10 games, I won my won my first ring, my second 10 games. Then I won my third ring, the next 10 games. So I broke the odds the first 30 games, and then I started to see the variance a little after that. So I've seen the ups and downs, and I've been trying to balance myself out ever since.
Did the variance still catch you, like where you were having so much success that you started to think, even though you'd already gone through being a pro and having the ups and downs of the bankroll, that you didn't even realize how these multi-table tournaments have like huge swings?
This is a game we do for a living. If you don't know this game got variance, you're either neglecting something or you're not looking at it the right way. We're playing a game where 90% of the people go home upset most of the time. The math and science don't lie. That means you're going to cash 10% of the time. A good player could increase that a little bit, or a worse player would decrease that a little bit. But you're going to be anywhere from 7.5 to 15 unless you're a great player. Like, I don't know who to say, because if you're doing better than 15%, you're a really good player. So you got to accept the variance. And with that being said, anybody could be a winner. You could go out there and win $1 million, and you'll be the happiest guy in the world. You'll be able to do interviews. You'll have a smile on your face every day. You'll be the happiest guy out there. But you got to be able to be a good winner. I mean, a good loser at the same time.
Right.
With that being said, I never try to get too high and never try to get too down. You know, I try to stay on an even keel and play poker.
Now that you have been a winner, has it affected or has it changed your lifestyle, or to what extent is it difficult to kind of stay grounded and keep the discipline, financial discipline, and just life discipline?
Of course, with a big win like that, it would change your lifestyle a little bit. You're able to have more room, you're able to do more things. What I'm trying to do is change my lifestyle for the good, because there's 2 ends of that sword. You can change your lifestyle for the bad, change your lifestyle for the good. I'm trying to put myself in a better position to be more successful. I'm trying to put a better team around me so I can feel more comfortable and go out here and put out the hard work. I'm trying to be one of the best players in this game when it's all said and done. If you look at my career, I'm on pace to do some good things. It's just going to take some time. I'm on pace to have 50 cashes in less than 2.5 years live. That's pretty hard to do. You know, I'm on pace to have about 25 final tables in 2.5 years live. That's pretty hard to do. You know, these are all numbers I've been working on by myself, but in the future they're going to come out, you know, because when I get my 50th cash, it should be something that should be acknowledged, you know, because it's hard to get 50 cashes in 2 years, 2.5 years, just grinding different levels and trying to make it happen.
Thanks for joining us on The Scoop, brought to you by Full Tilt Poker. And Dwyte Pilgrim is a very charismatic, very entertaining player, very interesting. I think people can learn from his progression.
I like him because he does most of the talking. I can just sit here.
I like that too. So we're going to bring him back for part 2, and it'll be on next week on Card Player TV.